working with at-risk youth, typically inner city, Detroit, Ohio, Kentucky youth. And then I worked at Choices for Change in town here for 7 years as an addiction counselor. And about 5 years ago, I kind of dropped everything and left to do this full time. So half the time I do this, public speaking, and the other half of the time I see clients one-on-one in my office, which is downtown. Is the video good, or we're good?
Perfect.
Cool. I will move around, so just FYI. That's cool. I like doing this. So for me, what I want to do, I want to give you the quickest bang for your buck and your energy today, and look at how to actually use mindfulness in a practical sense, not like a hippie sense, or not like this way of like, well, it sounds really nice on paper, an actual way to practice mindfulness, okay? So the first thing in order to practice mindfulness is you need to experience it. We don't have enough time today to do the experience of mindfulness, which is to meditate. So when I say practice, I literally mean to practice meditation, to meditate. Everything that we talk about today and more will be on our website, mindfulmike.ca, and I will stay after for questions if you have time to ask as a group, probably not, but definitely individually, and most definitely via email if you have any questions on my site. Okay? So what mindfulness isn't, we need to know this first. Mindfulness isn't easy, it's not natural, it's actually quite hard. It's actually counterintuitive. Why is that? Well, because the mind's a crazy, crazy, crazy place. See, most people think meditation is like this place where you get to the Zen moment in your mind and everything is like super mellow and chill, and that's not what it is. Most people think meditation's not thinking, which is impossible. It's literally impossible not to think and to have a thought. You know, I would say I probably work with about 15 nurses right now, one-on-one, in my private practice. The energy that you guys give out every day and the shift and how your kind of shifts are aligned, you're constantly going. Meditation is not going to stop that for you. When you start to practice meditation, you're not all of a sudden going to work like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But you can learn how to work with things in a healthy way. And I think the biggest thing, what I want you to take away from this, is your energy efficiency. So what mindfulness is this ability to work with things in a healthy way, the ability to see what is actually happening. What mindfulness is a systematic reprogramming of your brain. You know, there's a ton of science behind mindfulness. I'll go to a little bit today. But when we're looking at what mindfulness is, it's literally a systematic reprogramming of your brain. So how do we do that? Well, hello. When we start to practice meditation, we use the breath as an anchor. Okay, so let's say the breath is the most present thing that we have, or a body sensation. So close your eyes for a second. And I would like you just to bring your awareness to the sensation of your body touching the chair. And then I would like you to bring your awareness into your emotions. So that's maybe harder to do. So think of the last time you were frustrated, angry, or upset. Okay, eyes open. So many of you, you started your shift at 7 today? Is that right? So I'm assuming in those many hours you already started working, and you've probably been frustrated multiple times. Okay? And if you weren't frustrated, that's something that happened to you like 12 minutes ago, or 36 minutes ago, or 4 hours ago. You might be frustrated from something that happened last night, or with an argument with a partner. That's how our mind works. What mindfulness does, it allows us to systematically train our brain to come back to the present moment where everything actually happens. And when we're looking at, this is a perfect picture, I believe, of our mind and how our brain works. How many thoughts do you think we have a day? Go. How many? Yeah, tattoo.
Oh,
Yeah. I have tattoos too, so.
I don't know.
Lots is
like
correct.
100,000.
That's close. Well, probably, I would think for you all, close to 100,000. The average person has 50 to 70,000 a day, if you get 8 hours of sleep. And from my history work with many nurses, 8 hours of sleep is not really a regular thing. Especially if you're coming off nights, and then trying to kind of, you do that like 3-day or 2-day thing, then try to switch it over to working the other 2 or 3 different days. Your mind is conditioned to have thoughts constantly. How many of those thoughts are negative? Take a swing at it. More than half. How many?
70%.
More than 70%. Yeah, I know. It's crazy town. It's close to 60 to 63,000 negative thoughts a day. But when I say negative, I also mean judgmental. So let's think of this. I got home from Iceland last night, okay? Literally landed last night. And then it's like, okay, well, I have a lot of things to do because I have a big day tomorrow on Friday, and then I go back on vacation for a little bit. So my mind goes, okay, well, what are you going to wear today? Well, a lot of stuff is dirty from Iceland. So then I'm like, well, I'll wear these, and I guess I'll wear this, and I have a golf shirt. And should I wear a golf shirt, or should I wear a golf shirt? I have sleeves, I'm covered in tattoos, literally, right? And it's like, do I show those or not show those? Those are all judgments. I put something on the mirror, and I'm like, how should I do my hair? Well, it's pretty easy for me. Okay? It's like, well, how my wife doesn't like when it's really shaved. She's like when there's a little bit of hair, but I like it really shaved. And I look at myself, well, you look kind of stupid today. That's a judgment. I ate a lot of food, despite hiking 4 to 7 hours a day. I eat a lot of food. I'm like, well, this shirt feels kind of tight. That's a judgment, even if it's a true judgment. We are constantly judging ourselves, constantly. And when we're looking at how our brain works, and we realize that we have 60,000 plus thoughts a day, most of those thoughts are judgmental, but most of our thoughts that aren't judgmental are actually rehashing what has already happened to you, or rehearsing what might happen to you. Does that make sense? Let me explain it I'll go to like social worker mode. So when I was legal guardian in 19 Youth, I was 3 months into like my first real social worker job, I'd say. I came in the office, and I worked at York Region Children's Aid. I came in the office, and my supervisor says, Mike, I need to talk to you at 4:30. My mind goes to where?
Anxiety mode.
Yes, anxiety mode. But what about, so that was, anxiety is where my physical or energetic reaction was to it, but what my mind thought was what, you think? I'm getting Social Worker of the Year award? No.
Like what did I do wrong?
What I do wrong, right. Okay? So I do that right away. My mind goes there right away, and then I start going through my list of my 19 youth, and I start going through the kind of hot fires, and there was about 3 or 4 of them. There were always something going on. So then for each one of those 3 or 4 youth, I started to create a story about why Deb, my manager, wanted to talk to me. So for maybe John, it was, I didn't do the case on time, I didn't do the house visit properly, I didn't have communication with his foster parents, I missed something. And then for those 4 or 5 reasons, I came up with an excuse or reason or my justification for why I did that said belief thing I made up. Okay, and I did that 4 or 5 times. So the government paid my salary for an entire day to till 4:30 to think about the plausible options that were happening. And I even asked my team, hey team, Deb wants to talk to me at 4:30. Any idea? They go, I don't know. So then my mind goes, well, surely you're getting fired because they don't know. And they don't even have an idea. So then at 4:30 I walk in and Deb says, it's Amanda's surprise birthday party, can you come on Friday? And I go, oh yeah, it's fine, no problem, it'd be great. But the mind naturally will go to the negative. Right? If I say Donald Trump, boom. If I say Bill Clinton, 83% of you think of what? Monica Lewinsky, correct. 83% of you. So, yes, I know. I know what I'm doing. This is all evidence, okay? What we're looking at is that the mind naturally goes through negative space. Naturally. Why is that? Self-preservation, to protect you. Naturally, your mind will go to do that. Now, there's 17% of you that your mind will go, okay, maybe the negative, but it could be the positive, sure. But most of us, and most of the time, our mind will go to the negative. And then become, not only be in the negative, but create kind of a sub-story about the negative. So if my wife's home from work late, she's a physiotherapist, she works in Hamburg, the drive sucks sometimes, I'm like, Jen, don't go. She's like, no, I have 17 patients, I'm not going to cancel them. Then I say, yeah, but I'd rather have you here and safe than doing whatever you do at work. And then she says no, and then I check the road reports, and the road says it's crappy out, and it's, slippery and poor visibility. She goes, it always says that. Okay? It does. She's very strong. So she's late, and then what happens? My mind, at 6 o'clock, she's not home. At 6:30, my mind goes to where? Something, yeah, but what happened?
She's dead.
Right! What's your name? What's your name? Lysandra? Oh, Sandra. I was like, Lysandra, that's kind of cool. Sandra's cool too. It's a good nickname, Lysandra. I like that one. So my main, Lysandra says that Jen's dead, and I said it's a fitting story. So when I think of Jen being dead, what are some physiological responses to the idea of my partner of 17 years being dead? What's some physiological responses?
Your heart starts to pound.
Exactly.
Properly, you feel like you're sick.
Exactly. All my vitals go like this. My mind goes fight or flight or freeze. Typically flight for me, or flight. So then I start having these physiological or somatic responses to the idea of her being hurt. Not only that, to the idea of to be a single parent, which would totally suck for me and my boys because they're savages, one of them in particular, okay, very wild and busy. I love them obviously, but one is, you think he's a feral child, okay? That's a whole other story. So then what happens? My mind's going. I call 37 times, she doesn't answer. Then it confirms my story in my mind that Jen is dead. Then she pulls into the driveway, the lights hit my house. I feel what? For about 3 seconds, relief. And then what? Anger. And I'm like, why the bleep give a cell phone over answer a friggin' cell phone? And then I'm like, why would you tell me you're gonna be late when it's really bad weather and I'm worried about you? And she says, I had yoga, and I told you I was going to yoga. And I was like, all right, I forgot about that. And then I go back to my normal day or night. That's how we work. And I've worked with many nurses before, and still do. And we look at how the system works. It's like this. That's your cadence. It's not really like, oh, let's just take a nice little break and go for a walk in the hall. And it's energy going out all the time. Going. So what happens is, when you're with one patient, the mind then goes to what's next patient. Or 3 down from there. Or you've been at work for 5 hours, how the bleep am I going to do another X amount of hours? That's how our mind works. It literally takes us away from being present constantly. And not only that, our mind fills in the gap in the information all the time. So we get this much info, our mind fills it in. Jen's not home, weather's bad, she's dead. That's a dramatic jump. It's not practical, but our mind will go to that most of the time. Okay? So, that's all negative brain bias. Like I told you all, 83% of the time, your mind will go to the negative. Now, why do I have a picture of berries and a bush on there? Well, if Lysandra and I are going hunting or camping, and are you a good hunter or camper?
Excellent.
You are?
No.
Okay, so neither am I. So Lysandra and I go out, and we're in the woods, all right, and we're hungry, and you eat the red berries, and then you get sick from the red berries. Am I going to eat the red berries? No. I will stay away from the red berries. But not only those red berries, I'll probably stay away from the blueberries and the blackberries we find. Why? Because the red ones got you sick. And our minds do that to protect ourselves from being hurt or harmed from other people. So if you had a negative encounter with this said person or doctor, let's say, your mind naturally will go, okay, now we're not going to bring that one or say it that way again. But also, it will kind of pad that out, so you're going to be even more cautious of what you're saying or doing to people. Why do I have a picture of this bush? Well, if Lysandra, or as our friends call her Sandra, want to go hunting, and we're going to hunt for deer, let's say. And we're hunting for deer in the olden days with a spear, and we see this bush move, and we see a tail, and kind of this like color behind it. My mind naturally, because I'm a European descent, I'm a warrior, I'll go, holy bleep, let's run out of here, it's a tiger. Okay? And Lysandra's like, it's definitely a tiger. So her and I run back to the cave. Our friends watching see that's a squirrel because of the shadow and the light. They're like, those idiots, ha ha ha. Well, what do we have? Unnecessary fear, unnecessary anxiety, unnecessary worry, but we're still alive. Now, the same cave dwellers go out and they go, oh, we see that tail and that bush and those idiots ran. We're going to get it, and a tiger jumps out and eats them. Guess what? They're no longer here. And if you look at people in your life, you know who are the ones that run and the ones who are like, oh, whatever. But our ancestors are the ones that were constantly doing this all the time and worrying and looking forward and looking, do we have enough food? Do we have enough shelter? Do we have enough warmth for the shelter? Do we have enough to have fire? So our mind is constantly looking at how to protect us and preserve us. What does this have to do with meditation? Well, when we're looking at meditation, most of our time is in the past or the future. Our awake moments are spent thinking about what has happened, right? So rehearsing what we should have or could have said, or rehearsing what we could or might say when our manager calls us in to talk. When I had this quote, I literally thought Mark Twain wrote it for me. I lived through some terrible things in my life, most of which have not occurred. I literally thought he wrote that for me. Because we have 7, I won't go to all of them, but we have 7 subconscious responses. My favorite, by far, is catastrophic thinking. Because I'm Italian, my mom's Italian, definitely. That's like ingrained in me. It's like, something's wrong, it's like worst case scenario. Like, let's go to like my son has a cough, it's like obviously it's pneumonia. That's where the mind naturally goes for me. Not all of you, but for me that's where mine goes to. Right? Another one of these self-preservations, like, yeah, I know. That's a defensive mode. When I first moved to Stratford, everybody and their brother was like, hey, you need to go get a mint smoothie. Go get a mint smoothie. And I was like, this sounds delicious. Where? Go to Rio. So I go to Rio. And I walk in there and I sit with the girl, young 17 or 18-year-old. Can I get one of those mint drinks things? My wife's with me, Jen. And she goes, sir, you know it's not a drink, right? It's a chocolate? I go, yeah, I know that. And my wife goes, you're an idiot, and left the store. Because I clearly asked for a drink. And right away she said, you know it's not a drink, it's a chocolate. I go, yeah, I know that. Right away my automatic response was to kind of protect my pride. Mindfulness is so hard to do because it's so counterintuitive. Most of us want to spend our time in the past or in the future. But everything actually happens to you in this present moment. Everything. So typically, if you are anxiety-based, you're typically someone, most nurses would be this, in my experience, future-oriented. Future-oriented. So think about it this way. If you had 100 thoughts a day, which you don't, you have many, let's say 100,000 is good. You have 100,000 thoughts a day. How many of those thoughts for you are based in the future or based in the past? So future, I mean, when this happens, I'm going to do this, or it's 14:19, so in 12 minutes I have to go check on this patient, or you're past related, where you're going, I should have or could have done that, or I shouldn't have planned this, and now this is going to happen. So just for a second, close your eyes for just a couple seconds, and try to break it up percentage-wise. Where are you based? Are you a future person, past person? And break it up, 90-10. So 80% of the time you're in the future, 20% of the time you're in the past. Are you a 50-50 type of person? Okay, eyes open, just yell some out. And there's no right or wrong. Everyone in here is totally different.
80-20.
Future?
Yeah.
Okay, 80-20 future? Yeah, wow, that's a lot of yes. Anyone past dominant? Interesting. Okay? When I work clinically, I did this exercise, I developed this exercise when I worked at St. Mike's in town here. I would do this right away when I sat down with the client to find out kind of where they're wired and how they're wired. If someone is like 90% past or 80%, it's typically high trauma related, I would say, in my experience, okay? There's no stats, this is just my experience to support that. But most of you working with a lot of nurses and doctors, in my experience, would be incredibly future-oriented. Which is fine. You don't say, okay, Mike, we can't live this hippie lifestyle where we're all just being present and we're in the sunlight and dancing. No, what I am saying is we don't have to be always in the future. When you're thinking about tomorrow or your shift tomorrow, a perfect example, you have a nice couple days off and your last day off is like a Sunday and your Monday coming up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work, and you're projecting yourself how hard the day is going to be at work, that does not serve you, and it's not a good way, it's not a good use of your energy. Like you going into the future and worrying about what your day's going to be like tomorrow is literally a waste of your time. Like it's literally a waste of your time. You know, me flying back and worrying about if the flight's going to be good or if it's going to be bad or if it's going to be nice out or if I hate turbulence, there's going to be a lot of turbulence. Me worrying about that on Sunday or Monday of last week does not serve me now at all. Not even a little bit. You have to realize 100% of your life happens in the now. 100% happens now. The problem is 90% of the time we're spent here or here. Okay? So when we're looking at how is mindfulness practical, how can we use it, it's literally retraining our brain to be present. And that's, especially working with nurses in a one-to-one setting, that's what I've noticed the most. I would say the greatest shift with them is they're able to bring their awareness to what is actually happening now, versus 5 minutes from now. Now I was doing some work, I do a lot of work with school boards. I was working with this teacher, he goes, Mike, I'm 100% present. So then I laughed, because I don't know anyone that is. And I go, what are you thinking about? He's like, well, I'm always present. I'm thinking about my lesson plan. I said, okay, great. When is the lesson plan? He goes, in 3 hours. Like, that's not present. Just because you think about something today, does that make you present? By dropping into the presence is what you're doing now. So one of my teachers, his name is Dr. Shinzen Young. He's a professor of math and science, but he's also a PhD, but he's also a Zen monk. And he talks about that we are aware of about 1% of all our surroundings. So think about it. Like right now, if you were aware of 100% of everything, our heads would probably explode. Like if you were aware of the tone of my voice, of the thoughts going on in your mind, of the temperature in the room, of the air hitting your face, of the sensation of your feet, so on and so forth, there's a lot of things going on there. But what mindfulness allows us to do is increase that. So you're not going to live twice as long, but if you can bring mindfulness and be more aware of 2, 3, or 4% of what's happening, your life can be 2, 3, or 4 times richer. And I noticed this with my 2 young boys. I noticed this with my boys the most. Okay, my boys are 6 and 3. So children are the most present beings ever. And if you can just be with them, instead of being in your mind or on your phone or in your head about what's going to happen or what might happen, that allows you to really drink in what is actually unfolding. And that's where mindfulness is worth it. We don't do the practice of mindfulness so you feel relaxed 15 or 20 minutes a day on the bench or the mat or wherever you're sitting and doing the practice. We do it so you can be present in life. And that to me is if you take anything away from my blabbing, it's that. It's that we do this practice so you can be present in life. Not for the relaxation techniques that it happens in the morning or at night. But we do it because if you systematically retrain your brain, and you systematically do this over and over and over again, in about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, you'll have aha moments. So maybe something will happen at work, and it would normally really, really piss you off or frustrate you, and you go, I responded to that, versus reacted to it. It doesn't take away frustration or the stress of your job or difficult patients, let's say. It doesn't take away that, but it can take away how you react to them. And that is, for me, worth every single cent or energy that I put into the practice. The greatest news is this is free. You go on a website and just press play. There's like probably 12 or 15 meditations you can do. We'll talk about kind of the Cole's notes of like what a practice should look like when we go on. But why do the practice? Well, 1, to learn to watch, observe past or future thoughts, which I'm going to give you some examples for. To learn to witness emotional experience. So when you think of frustration or anger or sadness, you can actually be with that experience versus kind of talk to your friend about it, and then they talk about their experience, and then it just keeps adding and adding and adding and adding. To actually be able to observe emotional energy is really a beautiful skill. So close your eyes for a second. Think about the last time you were really frustrated, or the last time you were really upset, or the last time you were really angry. And then go into your body and just see where you're feeling that right now. Okay, eyes open. Where did you feel? Go. No one. Sandra, what did you feel?
Well, you felt frustrated when you thought back to that.
Sure, where'd you feel it?
But that moment was resolved.
Okay, great.
So then my feeling now is I was kind of laughing at that moment.
Perfect.
Because it was resolved.
Okay, so in the moment when it happened, where'd you feel the emotion?
Oh, frustration.
Yeah, where?
What do you
In your, like when you were having that encounter, where did you feel in your body? In your chest, in your hands, in your jaw?
Your heart rate goes up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my voice level goes up.
Sure.
My head hurt.
Your heart?
My head.
Yes, head's a big one too.
Yeah.
If it was anger, you might feel it in your jaw, your hands, or your stomach. If it was resentment or guilt, you'd probably feel it in your stomach. See, we actually hold emotion in different parts of our body. And what happens is, if that emotion's not resolved, and you keep adding to it, that over time you'll get sick or you feel frustrated, or something very subtle will set you off. The whole point of doing this work is so you can work with those frustrations, that energy, that emotion in a healthier way, which is totally doable. So I'll go a little bit of science meditation. We talked about kind of all the vital signs that jump up when we have practice. When we're looking at does anyone know what the MBSR program is, the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction Program? It's taught at over 700 hospitals in the world. Okay, I taught it in town, not at the hospital, but off-site for 3 years. And most of the studies that come from the science of mindfulness come from that program, the MBSR program. And that program is taught over 8 weeks, and it gives you a lot of practice, about 45 minutes to an hour of meditation every single day. Most insurance companies cover it. Why? Because it's much cheaper to have that 8-week course than someone to be on antidepressants for X amount of time. And what they found with this regular practice is that it reduced blood pressure, resting heart rate across the board, actually had a very strong boost in immune system. And they found, for the greatest result was people were able to respond to stress versus react to it. And responding to stress is much different than the reaction to it. So if someone does get you frustrated in the next, let's say, 15 minutes, in mindfulness you're able still to realize that you're frustrated, angry, upset, but how long that lasts is quite shorter because of your skills. And that's where the systematic retraining of the brain strengthens your practice. Okay? Because you're reminded, let's say we're all going to meditate, we close our eyes, in about 7 to 10 seconds your mind thinks of dinner, let's say. So what are you going to make for dinner? And it goes, okay, well we're going to make chicken, blah, blah, blah. So then you go, well, do we have chicken, blah, blah, blah? And then you go, well, wait, and if I go to the grocery store, I might as well get chicken and broccoli, and I need milk, and then my partner said we needed this. So you start kind of making this list, and then very soon you realize that you're not meditating, you're just quietly thinking about your grocery list. As soon as you realize that, and you bring that back to, oh, well, we're doing this meditation again, that is a repetition for your brain. Okay? And every single time your mind goes off and you bring it back, it's equivalent to you doing a repetition at the gym. So you wouldn't go to, so the summer's now, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and get jacked for the beach, and you go to the gym once, and you do like some benches and some curls. You do not leave there jacked and go, wow, I'm really fit and I'm ready for the beach now, because it was one practice. Sadly, okay? Meditation's the same way. We need to do it consistently over time. So what happens for most people, like yourself who are busy, is there's all these reasons why we don't meditate. Number one, for sure, there's not enough time in the day, especially with this population. It's like, Mike, I already worked 12 hours, usually have overtime and some charting to do, then I go home and I have to take this person here, this person there, or I like to get some sleep. There's not enough time in my day. I agree. How many of you drive to work? Okay, how long's your drive?
45 minutes.
Each way?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, how long's your drive?
You get-
Yes, you can.
I walk,
Okay, how long's your walk?
5 minutes.
Perfect. All of you already had built-in time in your day where you're driving or going to places. If you're going to alone, I would say 20 minutes of that drive to or from can be done with the practice of what's called informal meditation. So let's say you're focusing on driving with your eyes open always, please, okay? Mindful Mike told me to drive in meditation, eyes open, okay, please. But you can focus on the sensation of your hands on the steering wheel. You can focus on the sensation of your body touching the chair. You can focus on the colors as you're looking out. As hokey pokey as this might sound, it is very similar to a formal practice of meditation. Because in 7 to 10 seconds, your mind's going to go off to thinking about work, or thinking about dinner, or to think about children, or to think about patients, or about a supervisor. And as soon as your mind does that, you can bring it back to what is actually happening here and now. Every repetition is one way to strengthen your brain. In a best practice scenario, I would like to see you guys doing 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and or at night. I call it bookends, before bed. So you can wake up, as soon as you wake up, put your earbuds in, press play, 5-minute meditation. If you're walking or driving to work, you can do another 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. Then before bed, you can do another 15 minutes. That will give you way more than enough that you need. The science supports you need about 27 minutes a day to change your brain. The problem is you have to believe me that this works, because it's not easy. It's actually very difficult. But you do not need to do it in these like half an hour to hour time slots every single day. You can do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, 5 minutes on your way to work. That's 15 minutes right there. You have that time in your day to do that, but your mind will tell you don't. Why? Resistance. But if you allow yourself to pepper your day with a little bit of practice, you will notice fairly quickly that you are developing these skills to respond to stress. Because nobody in this room likes stress. Nobody. And nobody in this room wants to hold stress. But I'll do one more slide. A couple more. This one for me is the most important. Self-care. To me, it's a simple equation of energy in and energy out. Why is there a Care Bear on there? Yes, there's a Care Bear. Why is that? Well, you all in here are working from your heart. Hopefully most of the time, which means you're giving energy out all the time. So if you see X amount of patients in a day, it's like psh, 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 and you're constantly doing this. And then at the end of the day, you're like this. And by the end of the day, that could be 3 hours into your shift and you're drained. And typically, you're short-staffed. Because someone's sick or someone's overworked or people are away on vacation and they call you into work and you're like, nope, my cup is not full. The practice fills your cup up. Don't believe me? Do it. You have to look at most of your day, and this is, again, from my experience working with this population, you are in a helping field for a reason, and most of you are helpers outside. You don't just take off the scrubs and then just go into life and no one bugs you and asks you for any favors or help. Typically, your siblings would, or your partner's dependent on you, or your children are definitely dependent on you, or you're like the care provider to your friends. So typically, you're always doing this. Even when you're off duty. We have to find something that allows you to fill your cup up so you can be the most efficient with your energy. And even if you hate meditating, I literally pay my mortgage with it, okay? And I still resist practicing probably 5 times a week. My mind's like, yeah, you don't need to, you know what you're doing, you teach this for a living. That's resistance. You should be experiencing a healthy amount of resistance in your meditation practice. That resistance means that you are doing something good for yourself. Just like going to the gym, it's like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm tired, and then you do it and you feel good, or eating healthy is much harder than eating unhealthy. But if you allow